Welcome to Learn Biology, and today we'll be discussing some famous scientists and geneticists who have had a great contribution to what we know about DNA, RNA, and protein synthesis in today's world. Now, the first person we're going to begin with is known as Thomas Hunt Morgan. Now, this gentleman here, right here, was awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine. And his main achievement, his primary contribution to the world of DNA and genetics was that chromosomes carry genes. These days, this might be some common knowledge that chromosomes carry genes, but at that moment, we did not know how inheritance works well, and this man actually rediscovered Mendel's work. And if you know Mendel, he's another great man who is known as the father of genetics. And he was a monk who worked with pea plants, and he discovered all these rules of how pea plants acquire tall genes and short genes. And Thomas Hunt Morgan rediscovered his work and used that to conclude that chromosomes carry genes. So that is very important to know about Thomas Hunt Morgan, and he won the Nobel Prize in Medicine for his contribution. Then we have another gentleman here, Hermann Muller. He was a very political person. He was very opinionated. That's something you'd like to know. So very opinionated about politics. However, he was the one who made the public aware that X-rays cause mutations. So X-ray links directly to mutations, and this was Hermann Muller again. And he won the Nobel Prize in Genetics for his contribution to discovering that X-rays cause mutations, and he always was against nuclear experiments and nuclear wars because he knew that the mutation rate would increase greatly. So this is again Hermann Muller. Then we have a very amazing lady here known as Barbara McClintock. And what she did was she worked with maize, also known as corn, and she worked with maize to discover something known as jumping genes. So keep in mind jumping genes. But before we get to that, let's understand some past history. So Barbara McClintock worked with maize, and she actually traced genes in maize which would activate certain physical characteristics. So let's say we have something known as gene X. Well, gene X, if it was turned on, it would make the corn turn yellow. If it turned off, it would make the leaves turn greener. Something like that. Something like how genes impact physical characteristics was discovered by Barbara McClintock, and she worked especially with corn, and she traced the genes in corn. Now, using this research, she also learned something in human beings and other animals, and this is known as jumping genes. What jumping genes are, as the name says, they're genes that simply jump, or also known as translocate. So translocation. And what this means is, let's say we have let's change the color here. So let's say here we have gene 1, okay, and then we have here we have a segment of DNA, some more, and here we have another gene. This is gene 2. Now what happens is, jumping genes, these genes can switch places. They can literally move within the chromosome. They can move. So genes move in segments of chromosomes, and she discovered this, and she was given the Nobel Prize in Medicine for this, in segments on chromosome. So that was what Barbara McClintock did. Now our last person we're discussing is Erwin Chargaff, and we have discussed the Chargaff rules several times before, base pairing rules in DNA, meaning adenine goes with thymine, guanine goes with cytosine. And the sad part is that Erwin Chargaff was never given the Nobel Prize, and this is a big controversy. You can look that up on Wikipedia. But Erwin Chargaff discovered base pairing rules, and he also discovered the percentage in human beings. This right here shows how much adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine us human beings have. So this is in human beings. And what he discovered was adenine is 30.9%, thymine 29.4%, guanine 19.9%, and cytosine 19.8%. So this was very amazing, and he should have received the Nobel Prize, but he never did. Now you can look more up on that. So human beings. So thank you for watching Learn Biology, and we'll see you next time.